Hi, well done. Ready for your next session? By now you should have some really strong resources, mental resources, and those new habits should be installed and growing stronger. And in this session we're going to reinforce those responses, those habits, those attitudes, and those behaviors. And I really want you to use your imagination and visualize during this session. We're going to do an exercise with an imaginary TV and seeing different situations and scenarios on that TV. And so I just want you to really use your imagination and see what's happening on that TV in your mind's eye. And the clearer you can make that, the more efficient and successful this whole session will be. Now you might be wondering by now, why do I use the same system of getting you into such a relaxed state? Why do I use the same method every time? Well, the answer is simple. It's because you're used to it by now, and because you're used to it, it's because you have made it a part of your things that you do. It's become more effective, and you can go deeper, and that's what it's all about. I could show you 100 different ways, but at the end of the day, we just want to keep it simple, keep it effective, keep it short and sweet, and make it as easy as possible for you. So, well, again, are you ready? You're comfortable? Let's focus on our breathing. Take a deep breath and let it out. Let your shoulders relax. Let that relaxation go to your stomach. Let that relaxation go to your feet. And let's take another deep breath. And as you let it out, let your body just relax even deeper. And for the last time, a deep breath. And as you let it out, just let your eyes close. Now, with your permission, please make a fist. Make it as tight as you can, even tighter. Now relax that hand. Let it hang limply, loosely, and totally relaxed, till it is like a wet dishcloth. That is how relaxed you must allow yourself to become, both physically and mentally, to experience the full effects of hypnosis. Take a deep breath, and as you let it out, allow your whole body to become like that wet dishcloth, limp, loose, and relaxed. Now picture, visualize, and imagine in your mind's eye yourself sitting where you are, as another person in the same room would see you. Picture, visualize, and imagine that image of yourself relaxing every muscle in their body. Now picture that image you have of yourself relaxing their eyes even more. Picture, visualize, and imagine and relaxing their eyes so much that now when they try to open their eyes, they are so relaxed their eyes don't want to open. See them trying to open their eyes, and the more they try, the more their eyes are totally relaxed. I'd like you to take your attention now to your own eyelids and the area around your eyes. You can relax your eyelids so much that they just won't work. Notice the increasing reluctance in your eyes to open as you let your eyelids get heavier and heavier. When you have relaxed them to the point where they just don't care to work, hold on to this relaxation. When you are sure that you have relaxed them to a point where they just don't care to work, test them, and you'll find that they just don't care to open. Good. Stop testing and go relax even deeper. When you tested them, you probably found that there was movement in your face, that your eyebrows came up, but your eyes didn't care to open, because you were holding on to their relaxation. They closed down even tighter. It's easy to do. This is the tiniest muscle group in your body, and it's a wonderful experience to realize just how much control you have over them. Now with a deep breath, send that feeling of relaxation down through your body, from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. And now just picture, visualize, or imagine a TV in front of you. It can be a big, giant plasma screen TV, so that you can see everything clearly with surround sound. And you've got the remote control, so you are completely in control of what is going on. And just get a sense of seeing yourself on that screen. Seeing yourself sitting where you are now, And I don't know whether the camera angle is from behind you, or from where I'm sitting, or from in front of you, but just see yourself on that screen sitting there. And then just watch as that you stands up, leaving something behind. Stands up as a person with a healthy response to things that irritate. Now, you don't know yet how you became that person with a healthy response to things that irritate. But that isn't important. Just watch as they stand up and they leave you as a person with a healthy response to things that irritate. They walk through the door and just have that camera follow them as they leave you. And that you goes and carries on doing what you are going to do after this. And you go on into the future seeing that you doing what you will be doing later on. And maybe it's at a time you see them looking in a mirror, or maybe it is whilst they're having a drink or some other situation. And you suddenly see a little smile come across their face. And you know that although you didn't hear it, you know that what just went through their mind was that they still hadn't had an unhealthy response to things that irritate. And they hadn't even thought about it. And even in situations where they would have done, they still haven't thought about having one. That's it. And just imagine watching that you enjoying the rest of the day and the evening. And then watch that you mixing with other people. And see that you on the screen really be challenged. Perhaps somebody is constantly pestering you. And see your response to them. See that new response. And then watch as that you is just mixing with an irritating person in a new way. And watch as that you gets into a situation where they feel a little bit nervous. And see how they handle that situation differently. Notice how that you can become absorbed in small things when it is the right time to do so. Like being absorbed in a certain feeling or sensation or something you can see or hear. And then just move forward slightly further into the future. And watch yourself talking to somebody about how pleased you are with your progress. And notice how that you quickly gets distracted to talking about other mundane things, forgetting about what you were talking about. And watch that you falling asleep, and then waking up the next day, and going through the next day in a new way, experiencing various events and situations. Watch as that you go through a variety of different days, watching how that you takes breaks when they need it, appropriately, and in a healthy manner, enjoying socializing, eating meals, chatting with people and communicating in a variety of ways, all in a new way. And after a few months, see that you talking with someone about how they still haven't had any unhealthy responses to things that irritate since that day they were hypnotized. And you know, there is a voice that you listen to on one of your shoulders that tells you all those things that are good and that are positive. And I wonder which shoulder it's on. And that voice has the power to give you pleasurable experiences, to remind you why you should listen to it. And you have control of that pleasurable voice and the voice on the other side. And you can turn down the volume of the voice on the other side. And you can change the voice speed too if it tries to tell you to have an unhealthy response to things that irritate. Just make it sound like Mickey Mouse. And you just can't take that voice seriously. And the more that voice talks, the quieter it gets. And the quieter it gets, the stronger the other voice becomes. And just get a sense of restarting that video again on that screen in front of you. And this time step inside that video, into that you on your screen, so that it's all in 3D, so you can see what you would see, hear what you would hear, and feel what you would feel. Get a sense of sitting there and getting up and leaving something behind. And then run through this experience. What you will be doing later. Having that small smile as you realize you still haven't had an unhealthy response to things that irritate. And falling asleep. And waking up in a new day and enjoying it in a new way. and taking breaks, socializing, communicating with others, all in a new way. And notice that at times when you need to relax, your breathing changes and relaxes and gets deeper, and each out-breath gets slightly longer than each in-breath. That's it. And then just notice yourself in the future, a long way into the future, looking back and talking to a young child. And the child looks familiar, but you don't know why yet. And the young child is asking about things that people used to do in the olden days. And that child asks you, did you ever used to do that responding incorrectly thing? And you explain that you did it for a while, and that it was a horrible habit, and you stopped. And like all children, they can't stop asking questions, and they ask why. And you explain to them why. And they ask other questions. And you tell them about the day you stopped. You tell them that occasionally there were times when you would find situations difficult. So you would go and take time out to relax. And as you talk to this young child, you feel a sense of pride in what you have achieved as you look into this familiar child's eyes. And by stopping responding incorrectly, you have had a lifetime to share so much love. And from that one event where you stopped correctly, there have been many knock-on events with positive changes and positive effects on the lives of others, and even on the lives of people you don't know yet. And the child asks you, what would life be like had you not stopped responding incorrectly? And notice how that thought is the straw that breaks the camel's back. It is the thought that makes you think, never again. And I don't know whether this is the thought that comes to mind whenever you are tempted to give in, and the thought that reminds you why you are staying stopped. And that positive voice helps you and encourages you. And just take a moment to see a whole chain of events all happening, almost like they're on individual slides, with each one different, responding incorrectly, experiences from the past. Just watch them all running backwards, almost like they're all videos rewinding, so that each and every one of those past events of responding incorrectly, all at the same time, are running in reverse. So they all start at the end and run all the way back to the beginning. Each and every event all the way back to that first ever angry response, where it all running in reverse. With the images happening in reverse, the audio in reverse, and the feelings happening in a new direction. And when you sleep tonight, your unconscious can carry on this reprogramming. And all those videos can wear themselves out, running in reverse, then restarting at the end and running in reverse again, and then restarting at the end again and continuing this until it just becomes too much effort. That's right. And now as you gradually find your way back out of trance, you can take all the time you need to ensure all the work is completed fully and honestly, and only drift back out of trance at the rate and speed that all of the reprogramming updates. And when you have found your way back fully, all necessary changes will have happened on an instinctive level, and allow you to open your eyes and come back to the room. Now, was that not a wonderful, relaxed state? You do feel good. You do feel wonderful. You do feel fine. And this good feeling of self-confidence, relaxation and ambition will be with you all the time. Every day will be better and better. And you will be better and better. Until tomorrow when we work through the second session, bring out your full potential that God has given you in your life.